Have you ever felt your mind in turmoil, stretched thin between worries, plans, and expectations? The days rush by in a blur, yet instead of a sense of accomplishment, you're left feeling exhausted and lost. Perhaps you're grappling with tough decisions, uncertainties about the future, or simply the overwhelming noise of modern life drowning out the voice of reason. But don't worry, because in the next 30 days you can rediscover clarity and peace of mind with the guidance of Stoicism. Stoicism is not a set of distant principles or dry theories. It is a practical art of living inspired by figures like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca, individuals who face the chaos and uncertainties of life with extraordinary wisdom and composure. On this journey, I will share with you lessons and techniques distilled from Stoicism and adapted to modern living. These are tools that can help you not just endure life's challenges, but embrace them, transforming your existence into something more meaningful and fulfilling. So stay focused and don't miss a single part of this journey. Every lesson is carefully designed to guide you toward greater tranquility, mental clarity, and confidence. If you're ready, let's begin this transformative path together. Number 1. Take a moment before you react. Imagine a moment when you're faced with a highly emotional situation. A sudden complaint from a colleague via email, a sharp remark from a loved one, or a minor mishap that pushes you over the edge. In those moments, we often react reflexively, quickly, impulsively, and sometimes regrettably. But what if you paused even for a single breath? What could happen then? That tiny moment of pause can transform not just how you respond, but also the outcome of the entire situation. Stoicism teaches us that the space between stimulus and response is where true wisdom resides. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. In that small, fleeting space lies your power to choose your reaction, to make decisions aligned with your values rather than being led by fleeting emotions." In practice, learning to pause is not just a philosophical ideal. It's a real skill you can develop. Imagine you're confronted with a tense email from your boss, blaming you for a mistake you didn't even make. The surge of emotion, frustration, defensiveness, perhaps even anger, urges you to reply immediately to defend yourself or push back. But by applying the 5-second rule, taking a deep breath and counting down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you create the space to recalibrate. In that space, you can craft a calmer, clearer response. Instead of escalating tensions, you pave the way for resolution. For more significant decisions, consider the 24-hour rule. A friend of mine once received a tempting job offer from a prestigious company. The salary was attractive and the growth prospects were exciting. She was ready to accept on the spot. But instead of rushing into the decision, she gave herself a day to think it over. During those 24 hours, she discussed it with family, weighed the pros and cons, and allowed her mind to rest overnight. Ultimately, she realized the position wasn't aligned with her long-term goals. That decision, made with clarity and composure, kept her on the path to a career she genuinely loved. Practicing the art of pausing doesn't need to be complicated. You can start small in your everyday life, when someone cuts you off in traffic, when you're stuck waiting in a long line at the supermarket, or when someone says something that annoys you. Seemingly trivial moments are opportunities to train yourself to take control. You'll find that as you get used to pausing in smaller situations, it becomes easier to apply the practice to more significant challenges. Over the next 30 days, challenge yourself to embrace the art of the pause daily. Don't just react instinctively. Breathe, reflect, and choose actions that reflect your true values. This is how you take charge of your mind, live more fully, and grow wiser each day. And now the question for you: are you ready to change your life with just one breath? Take a moment to reflect on this. Number 2. Mastering your emotions. After learning to pause before reacting, you create a space to think more clearly. But to truly master yourself, you need to go deeper by taking control of your emotions. This isn't just about staying calm, it's about understanding and guiding your emotions, transforming them into tools of support rather than forces that dominate you. As Epictetus once said, men are disturbed not by things, but by the views they take of them. It's our perception of events that unsettles our minds, not the events themselves. When facing negative emotions, the first step is to confront them directly. A simple yet powerful technique is to name the emotion. When you feel anger, tell yourself, "I am angry." When you feel anxious, say, "I am anxious." Avoid judging these feelings. or trying to change them immediately. This small action is like opening a window, allowing the light of reason to shine through the chaos within. You begin to see that you are not the anger or the anxiety, they are merely passing states. Like clouds drifting across the sky, emotions come and go while your inner self remains vast and steadfast, like the sky itself. Think for a moment. How many times have impulsive emotions led to actions or words you later regretted? Naming your emotions isn't about suppressing them but about mastering them. A step further. In emotional control is practicing the Stoic pause. When something irritates or wounds you, resist the urge to react immediately. Pause. Take a deep breath, feeling the air fill your lungs, then exhale slowly. In that moment, allow your rational mind to take the lead and remind yourself that it is not the event that controls you. It is you who decides your response. Imagine this. It's a hectic morning and you're stuck in a gridlock on your way to work. The blaring car, horns and suffocating atmosphere make you want to shout or slam your hands on the steering wheel in frustration. But if you pause, breathe deeply and ask yourself, will this anger help me move faster? Or is it just clouding my mind further? As you reflect, the anger begins to dissipate, and you might even manage a small smile as you confront the situation with grace. This is the power of the pause, a small act of control that can lead to profound change. Similarly, in a workplace setting, imagine receiving critical feedback from your boss that stings. Instead of responding defensively or with irritation, pause to ask yourself, what is this emotion telling me? What can I learn from this feedback? These self-reflective questions not only help you maintain composure, but also turn criticism into an opportunity for growth. Mastering your emotions isn't a one-time fix, it's a lifelong practice. Through naming your feelings and embracing moments of thoughtful pause, you'll find yourself growing stronger and more resilient. This journey will not only help you navigate life's highs and lows with serenity, but will also unlock your inner strength, allowing you to face challenges with greater clarity and purpose. Number 3. Think it through with logic. After mastering your emotions, you create a precious space for yourself, a sanctuary free from impulsive reactions that once dominated your actions. But what will fill this space? The answer is reason. If emotions are like a rushing river capable of sweeping everything away in its path, reason is the sturdy bridge that allows you to cross safely. To truly embody the spirit of Stoicism, it's not enough to simply restrain your emotions. You must also harness reason to analyze, evaluate, and make wise decisions. As the ancient philosophers taught us, reason isn't about detaching from emotions, but rather guiding them with wisdom. This is the moment to cultivate thoughtful deliberation, a skill that will transform how you face life's challenges. Let's begin with a simple yet powerful method for practicing rational thinking, the pros and cons list. When confronted with a difficult choice, writing down the advantages and disadvantages can help you see the situation clearly, free from the haze of emotions or unrealistic expectations. Imagine you're considering relocating to a new city for work. The excitement of career advancement might blind you to the fact that this decision would mean leaving behind family, friends, and the comfort of a familiar life. When the list is laid out before you, you might find yourself asking, does this choice truly align with my core values? But sometimes comparing pros and cons isn't enough. Fear of undesirable outcomes can hold you back, even when the choice aligns with your goals. This is where another Stoic tool comes in, premeditatio malorum, or the practice of imagining the worst case scenario. This isn't about becoming pessimistic, it's about learning to confront reality head-on. If you're about to embark on a major project but worry about failure, try visualizing the worst that could happen. Perhaps you might lose some money or face criticism, but ultimately, you would still have the opportunity to start again stronger and wiser with each setback. As Seneca once wrote, "He who is brave is free." By courageously facing your fears, you reclaim your inner freedom. Consider a familiar scenario. You've just had a heated argument with a colleague. In the heat of the moment, you feel the urge to fire back immediately. But if you pause and ask yourself, is this response truly necessary and justified? You might avoid making unnecessary mistakes. Thinking rationally isn't just about making better decisions, it's about steering your entire life in the right direction. When reason becomes your guide, confusion and anxiety about uncontrollable events begin to fade. Instead, you'll find clarity and peace in the knowledge that, while you cannot control everything, you can always control how you respond. Type Reason leads the way in the comments to remind yourself of this truth. Mark this as a milestone in your journey of growth. Now let's move on to the next lesson. Number 4. Spot and steer clear of biases. When cultivating reason, we must strive not only for clarity but also for vigilance against the invisible traps of bias. Whether unconscious or deliberate, biases easily distort our thinking and obscure the truth. To allow reason to shine brightly, the next step is to learn how to identify and overcome these biases, much like a Stoic who seeks truth over comfort. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If someone can prove me wrong and show me my mistake in any thought or action, I will gladly change. I seek the truth which never harmed anyone. The harm is to persist in one's own deception and ignorance." This powerful reminder underscores that protecting the truth is far more important than protecting our ego. Imagine someone investing in a high-risk business venture. Convinced of its success, they focus solely on favorable reports, while dismissing warnings about potential challenges. Eventually, failure becomes inevitable not because of external circumstances but due to self-deception. How, then, can we break free from this cycle? One simple yet profound approach is to actively seek and engage with opposing perspectives. This is no easy task, as we often default to defending our beliefs to avoid discomfort. But, as Epictetus wisely observed, it is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. By remaining open to differing opinions, we not only gain new insights, but also refine our ability to think objectively. In daily life, this could be as simple as asking a trusted friend for feedback on an important decision or reading an article that challenges your viewpoint. When was the last time you truly listened to a dissenting opinion without feeling defensive? And what did you learn from that experience? These practices not only help us minimize the effects of bias but also bring peace of mind. When you recognize that you are no longer swayed by irrational emotions or one-sided information, you'll experience a sense of clarity and relief. Picture yourself starting each day with a notebook where you list the decisions you need to make. Before each decision, ask yourself, am I being influenced by any cognitive distortions? Then make an effort to consider a perspective that challenges your own. In just 1 month, you'll notice a dramatic shift in how you analyze problems and make decisions. For the next 30 days, commit to actively identifying and confronting your biases. By doing so, you'll not only embody Stoicism, but also cultivate a mind that is clear, serene, and resilient. This is the power of a trained mind, the power of truth and reason. Number 5. View life from a higher perspective. Stoicism, a timeless philosophy, teaches us to shift our perspective to find peace amidst the turbulence of life. One of its most profound techniques is the view from above. Imagine standing atop a mountain gazing down at the world below. From that vantage point, the cities appear small, the bustling crowds like tiny currents, and the daily troubles that once consumed you are nothing more than grains of sand in an expansive desert. This is what Marcus Aurelius referred to when he wrote, "How ridiculous and how strange to be surprised at anything which happens in life." From this elevated perspective, events seem simpler, and you realize that very few things truly matter enough to disturb your inner peace. In our daily lives, we can use this technique to handle stress. Picture receiving a harshly worded email from a colleague. Instead of reacting with immediate anger, pause for a moment and imagine yourself observing the situation from a distant place, looking down at both yourself and the circumstances. Will these words still hold significance weeks from now? Is it worth losing your composure over them? Most likely the answer is no. By seeing the situation from a broader perspective, you not only feel a sense of relief, but also gain the clarity to address the issue with wisdom and efficiency. Stoicism also offers another invaluable lesson: stepping into someone else's shoes. When you swap roles, you gain a deeper understanding of the emotions and motivations of others, fostering empathy. Epictetus famously said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." This kind of understanding can open doors to solutions you may not have considered. For example, during an argument with a loved one over something trivial, like cleaning the house, ask yourself, how might they be feeling? Perhaps they are overwhelmed with work or exhausted in ways you haven't noticed. A single moment of perspective shifting can lead to compassion and pave the way for a more harmonious resolution. These techniques aren't just for navigating minor inconveniences, they also provide strength to overcome greater challenges. Take the example of an entrepreneur facing the devastation of a failed project. In the throes of disappointment, they can apply the view from above to see that this failure is merely a small chapter in the greater story of their career. Then, by swapping roles, they might consider the perspective of their clients or partners, uncovering the reasons for the setback and extracting invaluable lessons for future endeavors. This approach is not merely about problem solving but about growth and transformation. Ask yourself, does this truly matter in the grand scheme of my life? If I reflect on this moment years from now, will it still trouble me? Such simple questions can reshape how you confront stress. Stoicism does not ask us to eliminate emotions entirely. Rather, it guides us to control them so that we can live with wisdom and tranquility. If you've made it this far, take pride in that. You are not someone who gives up easily. You are seeking change, growth, and that sets you apart from many. The journey isn't over yet. Every step counts, and you deserve to see the full picture. When you reach the end, you'll have a robust strategy and a clear plan to overcome any challenge. So stay the course. Success is waiting for you. Number 6. Live by your core values. When faced with a decision, no matter how small or monumental, have you ever asked yourself, does this align with my core values? Or will I still respect myself after making this choice? These seemingly simple questions are, in truth, the guiding light through life's complex crossroads. Living in alignment with your core values is not just a principle, it is an art. It strengthens you against life's tempests while crafting a life you can truly be proud of. Imagine standing at the threshold of a major opportunity, a lucrative new position that requires you to compromise the ethical standards you've always upheld. Your heart sounds a quiet alarm, yet the pressure of external circumstances clouds your judgment. In that moment, asking yourself, will I still respect myself after this? Can be the key to clarity. Marcus Aurelius wisely wrote, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. These words are not merely advice, but a mirror reflecting your true self in every decision. Core values function as a spiritual compass. When you feel lost amidst conflicting choices, they help you find your way back to purpose. Over the next 30 days, challenge yourself to integrate your values into every decision you make, no matter how trivial or significant. Each morning, before you begin your day, ask yourself, what is the most important value I hold? And at the end of the day, reflect, have I lived true to that value today? Epictetus offered profound guidance when he said, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. His words remind us that knowing who you aspire to be must precede action, for every deed you perform is a reflection of the person you are becoming. But living true to your core values is not always easy. In today's world, where societal pressures often draw us towards seeking external validation, it can be challenging to listen to the voice within. There will be times when you face painful choices. Perhaps you'll forego a promising career opportunity to keep a promise to your child, because you believe family is your ultimate value. Moments like these, though difficult, are where you discover the strength and serenity that come from staying true to your principles. Seneca once wrote, it is not the man who has too little but the man who craves more that is poor. His words serve as a reminder that when you live in alignment with your values, you no longer need to chase meaningless desires. Instead, you find a profound sense of fulfillment in knowing you've lived fully and authentically. Core values not only guide you to make the right choices, but also lead you to a meaningful life, a life where success isn't just measured by society's standards but by the happiness and pride you feel when you look within. Number 7. Seek wisdom from trusted voices. When you have clearly defined your core values, applying them in real life can still be challenging due to emotions and uncertainty. This is where the power of advice from trusted individuals becomes invaluable. Their wisdom not only reinforces your belief in your values, but also illuminates the path ahead when you face difficult decisions. Marcus Aurelius once said, if someone is able to show me that what I think or do is not right, I will happily change, for I seek the truth by which no one was ever truly harmed. These words, filled with humility and openness, resonate timelessly. Despite being the ruler of a vast empire, Marcus never considered infallible. He frequently sought counsel from trusted advisors and friends. He understood that wisdom is not only forged through personal reflection, but also enriched by the diverse life experiences of those around us. Imagine standing at a critical crossroads in your life. Should you leave a stable yet uninspiring job to pursue a dream or remain within the safety of your comfort zone? Conflicting emotions like fear, hope, and societal pressure can cloud your judgment. But if you are courageous enough to turn to a trusted mentor or an experienced friend, they may help you see the situation from a new perspective. Perhaps they will show you that you don't need to choose between security and risk, but instead find a balanced path that honors both. Their objectivity can serve as a guiding light in the darkness. When grappling with complex issues, consider inviting a few close friends or trusted colleagues to sit down and discuss them with you. These conversations are not about seeking agreement, but about broadening your understanding. Through thoughtful critiques and shared insights, you might uncover gaps in your reasoning, or discover a completely new direction you hadn't considered before. Think about a familiar scenario. A student deciding on their university major. The student might feel immense pressure to make the decision alone. But by sharing their thoughts with a teacher, an older peer, or even their parents, they gain access to varied perspectives rooted in real-life experience. Someone who has navigated the challenges of a particular field can offer advice that is far more practical than stumbling through uncertainty on their own. Don't hesitate to open your heart and truly listen even when what they say may not fully align with your initial perspective. Every conversation is an opportunity to expand your mindset, learn from new viewpoints, and even reshape the way you see the world. Take note of the insights you gained from each piece of advice and reflect on how they have influenced and transformed you. Seeking advice doesn't make you weak. On the contrary, it is a sign of maturity and wisdom. When we share our dilemmas with others, we not only receive guidance, but also discover the power of humility and connection. As the Stoics taught, wisdom is not a burden we must carry alone. It is a shared journey. In this act of sharing, we find the light to live better, stronger, and with greater clarity. Number 8. Learn from yesterday's lessons. If advice from others is like a guiding light to show you the way, the lessons from your own experiences are the true compass. The Stoics remind us that the past is not a burden, but a precious reservoir of wisdom helping us to refine ourselves. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Look within, within is the fountain of good." Learning to reflect on what has passed is the first step toward walking more firmly into the days ahead. In the hustle and bustle of life, we often forget the value of pausing, breathing, and asking ourselves simple yet profound questions. What did I accomplish today? How did I face my challenges? What can I improve? Epictetus taught us, don't explain your philosophy, embody it. This means that instead of merely talking about what you believe in, your actions should reflect your philosophy. Each moment of introspection, each time you are honest with yourself, brings you closer to living in alignment with your values. Think back to a time when you felt disappointed by a poor decision, a harsh word spoken to a colleague in anger, or an opportunity lost due to procrastination. These moments often leave us with regret, a feeling of inadequacy. Yet Stoicism reminds us that such moments are not the end, but a beginning. The lesson lies in how you confront what has happened. Instead of berating yourself, ask, what can I learn? How can I act differently next time? A mistake is only a true failure if you learn nothing from it. Practicing the art of learning from yesterday not only helps you escape the cycles of repeated mistakes, but also lays the foundation for wiser decisions. A simple yet transformative exercise you can adopt over the next 30 days is to write down each evening. What did I do well today? What could I have done better? What was the most important lesson I learned? Your answers don't need to be lengthy, just truthful. For example, today you might note that you took time to listen to a friend in need. That was good. But you also lost your temper when faced with criticism. That's an area for growth. The lesson? Remember, other people's words don't define you. It's how you respond that reveals your true character. Through self-reflection and learning, you free yourself not only from the weight of regret, but also from the constraints of stagnation. You build a solid foundation for personal growth. Remember, learning from the past does not mean dwelling on it. Stoicism teaches us to live fully in the present, while recognizing that the past is an invaluable source of wisdom to guide us forward. If you're ready to look back on the past with a neutral perspective and draw valuable lessons from it, give this video a like to let me know we're walking this journey together. Growth becomes so much more meaningful when it's shared. Now let's dive into the final lesson. Number 9. Find comfort in the unknown. When reflecting on the past, we uncover valuable lessons, yet the future remains an enigma shrouded in uncertainty. And here lies the ultimate lesson, finding peace within uncertainty. This perspective equips us to face the unknown with calmness and inner strength. Uncertainty is the essence of life, and Stoicism teaches us to embrace it as a natural part of existence. Instead of resisting what we cannot control, we learn to prepare our minds to handle whatever comes our way. In doing so, we discover serenity and a profound sense of resilience. Consider a familiar scenario. You're preparing for an important job interview. Your mind floods with questions. What if I fail? What if they don't like me? Am I good enough? These thoughts pile up, transforming uncertainty into an overwhelming burden. At that moment, pause and ask yourself, if I succeed, what will I do next? If I don't, what can I learn from this experience? By breaking down possible outcomes step by step, the anxiety begins to dissipate. Your mind, rather than being trapped by fear, becomes adaptable and ready to embrace whatever happens. When we accept the worst-case scenario, we rob it of its power to harm us. Another Stoic technique for managing uncertainty is the best, worst, most likely analysis. Imagine you're embarking on an ambitious new project. You visualize 3 scenarios. The best case, your project succeeds spectacularly, fulfilling all your goals. The worst case, the project fails and you lose your investment. And the most likely case, the project achieves some success but falls short of your expectations. This method allows you to confront reality while easing anxiety by mentally preparing for all possible outcomes. When your mind is no longer shackled by unrealistic expectations, you approach any result with equanimity. Ask yourself, when was the last time you faced uncertainty? Was it when you stood at a career crossroads? Or perhaps when a relationship reached a dead end? How did you react then? Did fear consume you? Or did you summon the courage to embrace and overcome it? These questions are not merely reflective. They serve as a reminder that tranquility doesn't mean avoiding emotions, but mastering them. For the next 30 days, practice finding peace amidst uncertainty. When confronted with a tough decision or an unforeseen challenge, ask yourself, what can I prepare for? What can I learn from this? As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart. While we cannot control everything, we can choose how to embrace and love what life presents us. Life is a journey filled with uncertainties, but it is this very unpredictability that makes it so extraordinary. When you learn to find peace within uncertainty, you transcend mere existence. You truly live fully and authentically. We've just explored 9 powerful principles from Stoicism to help you cultivate clear thinking and find peace in any situation. These lessons are more than just ideas. They're practical tools to help you face uncertainty, master your emotions, and live a more purposeful life. Remember, true transformation doesn't come from what you know, but from how you act. Over the next 30 days, take these insights to heart and use them to create the best version of yourself. If you found this video helpful and haven't already, take a moment to like it. It lets me know we're on this journey together. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and consider passing this video along to someone you care about so they too can benefit from these timeless lessons. Thank you for this time spent seeking wisdom. If you want to delve deeper into Stoicism, there are other videos waiting for you. Live in harmony with nature, meet difficulties with a clear mind, and let your path be realized. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so that your life will burn brightly, and see you soon, young Mark Aurelius.